all
start
your
the intro. Y'all ready?
you have all your knobs and buttons in the right place and everything.
Play Joel. Coming to you live on YouTube. 3, 2, 1. Game News Live.
Yeah, we just gotta have Mel just like flapping her arms everywhere.
Don't tempt me.
Welcome everyone to Nerd Junkies
Hey,
Game
everybody.
News Live.
Hello.
Welcome. How is everyone?
Yeah, you're gonna scare him off, Mel.
Sorry.
Oh my god. This stupid arm. Oh my god.
Dude. Oh man. Do those things work if you had like a full VR set?
I would have to use a different program, but there's also another what's the word for it? There's a little
Program.
and it's not a program, it's a little thingy attached to your computer, which actually tracks your hands and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the shirt, by the way.
Mm.
Coming soon to
Thank you.
nerdjunkies.com.
Pop the collar if I could.
You could just like All right, let's say hi to the chats. Whoever's here, make sure you show some love.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We
Wow,
got
that was
people
loud.
from YouTube and Twitch on the line. And then,
On the line.
And then we have some old friends showing up on the Facebook. So this is going to like my personal Facebook as well.
I'm just not realizing you went to Facebook.
Yeah, because
Okay.
Restream does personal Facebooks, but they don't do pages. So now it's kind of like I'm giving Clay a reason why we should have a Facebook page, but even then, it's not going to be enough. No,
Still don't see it happening.
no, okay, all right.
No.
Oh, trust me, if it wasn't for family, I would not have a Facebook.
Yeah, I think it's finally coming down to like MySpace levels. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like where it's just like everybody's just jumping ship at this point, waiting for the next best thing.
Yep.
It happens every like
Basically.
decade and a half. I think.
There's like cycles of these things, right?
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's, yeah.
There'll be something new.
So welcome everyone. Make sure you check out nerdjunkies.com where we post every single week game deals, Mel's game deals, Andre's comic strips, which as you can see, happy holidays to everyone. That was courtesy of Andre and his amazing work. It was such a great artist.
Yes. Well done.
Yes. Make sure you give him praise for that and share one of his funny posts that you enjoy. But we're here for the game news. So you ready to get going on it?
Well, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah. As always, we start with new releases. So today we have one brand new release we thought you would care about. This one
It's like
is,
a new release asterisk, because it's DLC, right?
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
but still, like some DLC are some of the best additions to games. But
Some
most
can be.
of the
Yeah.
times they're just filler. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there are some DLC packs out there that are just amazing, and they're highly recommended. Like Witcher 3's Blood and Wine, or Bioshock 2's Minerva's Den, things like that. Like, there's some really good stuff out there. I hope this one is good. This is Gears 5 Hive Busters, which is the same 3-person team that is in the escape mode.
Yeah.
They're getting a campaign. We talked about this a few weeks ago on the show, just when the coalition made their announcement about it. But yeah, this is more story campaign Gears, which is great. That's what Gears is good for, is these like campaign modes. I know there's a big following of the Gears multiplayer, and there's like esports leagues and all that stuff. Gears, I don't know about you, Joe or Mel. I stopped playing Gears multiplayer after like Gears 2. Like I
think
really
after they took
keep going
away
with it.
like the 4-player co-op, we were just like,
That was after Judgment, because even
Yeah.
Gears 4 didn't have 4-player. It was back to 2 again.
And
I
you would,
said they haven't
and-
played since 3, so.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you would think that they want to keep that going, considering how well it was received. You know,
It
like
was yeah. Gears 3, I think, is still the best game in the series. Like, that's just an awesome game to play. Judgment, yeah, it was still 4-player co-op. It was a lot of fun.
Was that
So
was Gears 3 the one that they wrapped it up with the whole like dad story arc?
yes, Yeah, with
Okay.
Adam Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was technically the end of that whole like Judgment through Gears 3 storyline.
Gotcha.
And then
Yeah, that
Gears
was
4
really
is
good.
like Gears 4 is like what 20 something years into the future or something, and it's
I think the
whole
only
new
thing
cast.
that I didn't understand about that whole story was like the queen's like disgust for mankind, like her motive. Like I
Mhm.
just didn't like I really didn't see like a huge drive for that, but I guess again, we are also talking about a game meant for a huge audience and not really necessarily so deep, right? So we're not going to get like Game of Thrones level of deep.
Well, Gears, although I do love the series, I will say, and I remember ranting about this back when like I think it was when Gears 3 or Judgment first came out, and they are kind of bad when it comes to storytelling because the games don't do a really good job of telling you the story. You
Hmm.
have to go out of your way to like read the comics, and they have like a whole series of novels that backfill all of this storyline that they don't ever discuss in the game. So you'll
Right.
be like, yeah, but why are we fighting the whoever, the Locust
Right.
or Mira, the Queen or whatever? And it'd be like, oh, you need to go read that book, or it'll be like,
Yeah.
hey guys, we're at Asso Fields. This is a huge deal, and here's a big thing going on, and all this stuff. What's Asso Fields? What is that? Oh, that's a book. And you're like, I don't want to read a book. I want to play a game.
Right.
Like just
Yeah,
tell me what I need to know, and
you
I'll
would think
play.
that if
Yeah.
you'd want your biggest following, you wouldn't commit the sin like how Destiny did, where most of their lore is
I
in
was going to compare it to
cards.
Destiny, yeah, where it's like you're literally trolling their website for weeks at a time just to get the missing story from the game.
Right. I think
Yeah,
their only excuse was like they kept on saying like it's a lot to fit into a
yeah,
game, but in reality it's like but you already had the cards to start telling you the story. So
yeah.
where did you focus on that? But
I don't
whatever.
know.
It is what it
Destiny
is. I
runs
mean,
that
I
way.
do understand like there's a reason why movie adaptation from books and stuff like that just don't have all the details because it's just
Mhm.
not enough runtime. But even like in games, like okay, well then Gears had no excuse because they had 3 parts of all this
Yeah,
stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like you had all the time to be able to tell the
there's
story.
fit like look at like The Witcher, look at Skyrim, look at all this other things that have actually The Witcher's a really bad example because they do the same thing. But like Skyrim, that game is full of things to read if you want to.
Right.
That fill you in on all of the lore and backstory. Like you could spend weeks reading all the crap that's in Skyrim. Why not do that
Right.
with Gears? All those little things, like all those little collectibles that you pick up, like the cog tags and everything like that, or like the little collectible like documents and everything. Have those fill out your backstory. Just type a few more pages of text on everyone, and you're good.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, one
So
thing about Gears versus Skyrim is
Mhm.
more open gameplay versus Gears,
A
which is more
linear
straight.
shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, no, I get
So
that. I'm just trying to make the
yeah.
example of there are ways you can backfill
Oh
story
yeah.
in these types of games,
right.
but whatever.
Mm.
What do I know?
And then now you're getting like because of the generation gap, you're getting a lot more people that are older now that are looking for more story-based games. That
Mhm.
most of the games that have won awards are story-based games. That
Yeah,
it's just like we're older now. We enjoy a nice complex little video game that's just not like Bomberman levels of freaking story, you know what I mean? It's like I am Bomberman, we go bomb.
yep. Yeah, but why? Because I'm Bomberman.
Yeah.
Oh,
But what's my
yeah,
motivation?
exactly.
All right, so let's get moving on. This is Gears 5, the Hive
Hive
Busters,
Busters.
right?
Yes,
So
it comes out on Tuesday.
not a standalone game, DLC, not free either, right? Looks like you
It's
can
free for Game
pre-order.
Pass.
Ah, I
Yes,
might have to
this
jump
is
on
this
that.
is going to be on Game Pass Ultimate, which everybody should have by now because it's awesome.
Yes, I think we have an article about that.
We do. We have a Game
And
Pass coming up here in like 2 or 3 stories, so we're good.
yeah.
Gotcha. All right, let's move on to rumor control. Rumor control.
Still waiting for that intro, Joe.
I'm
Still
still
haven't
working
done
on it.
Still waiting.
I have an office
Still
now.
waiting
Get off
on
me.
Rumor control.
My wife's gonna be hearing me sing throughout the entire house. She's like, "What are you
Rumor
doing up
control.
there?"
Rumor control.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to put a
So
little Rick
Uh,
Ashley in there.
Ooh.
All right, so
I now have ideas on how to do that. Okay, it's fine.
Oh,
here
no.
we go. his brain's ticking. All right, so Nintendo cancels Splatoon stream after team shows solidarity with Smash community. I did not know that this was a thing.
So the reason I put this in rumor control is because it's not official. Nintendo is never going to admit anything on this story. But the long story short on this one, long story short, is there was a Smash tournament about a week or two ago that they were playing Melee because that's like, everybody says that's still the greatest Smash game of all time. They're using this third party program called Slippy, which basically you can compare this to the old like Xbox Connect or the GameSpy tool that we used to like link Xboxes together before Xbox Live was a thing.
Back
So
in
people
the
would play
day.
like Halo multiplayer and stuff before Xbox Live happened.
Hmm.
Slippy basically creates an online fight system for Melee for the GameCube, and Nintendo shut down that tournament. They did a cease and desist order, and they were like, "You can't do that."
But
And
this thing has been happening for a long time before then.
Slippy's been around for a while, and Nintendo's totally at fault on this. One, these fans who love this game are keeping this game alive. Why would you stop them from doing that?
Hmm.
Like that's just dumb. But
Right.
in this Splatoon tournament here, so the one that's on this main story here, Splatoon has a nice competitive scene also, and a lot of these top teams were renaming their team names in support of the Smash community. They were, like Free Smash and Slippy and hashtag Slippy and all this stuff. And Nintendo, this was an official Splatoon tournament that Nintendo had partnered with this other company to do all the hosting and streaming and everything. And out of nowhere, the third party hosting company came forth and said, "Oops, we're having issues. We can't stream the finale anymore." And so, like I said, that's why I have this under rumor control. This article, the way it's structured, is basically saying Nintendo stopped this thing in its tracks to try to get all this bad press about Slippy out of the way. Nintendo's never going to admit that, right? That would just be bad press if they did. So I think Nintendo needs to lighten up.
I think
a lot.
Nintendo, for some reason, never gets the point about press. They never understand that even though you could be part of the solution and give gamers what they want, instead you just take things away because you don't gain any money from it.
Yeah. They just need to have some kind of okay, if you remember, that raises a really good point. Nintendo had a thing with YouTube streamers like a couple years ago where they take a cut of every time somebody streams a Nintendo game.
Right.
So like whatever YouTube money they get, Nintendo gets like 30% or something like that or whatever it is. This could be part of that. I think if the fans are willing to keep an old game that they make alive, I don't see why Nintendo would care. Maybe they put out a disclaimer that everybody has to agree to for every tournament to say this is not representative of Super Smash Bros. Melee. This is not an official Nintendo product. It's a third-party thing. You're doing this at your own risk. Nintendo has no say in this whatsoever.
Yeah. Our quality control has nothing to do with this program.
Nintendo cannot be sued or anything for somebody who lost a tournament because of a bug in Slippy or something like that. Like you acknowledge that, sign here, case
But
closed.
it seems like even mentioning the program is something that they can't even do themselves. They can't just like promote something because they said the name of the program.
Yeah, but it's also, I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I mean, Slippy has been being used a lot in the past year because people can't get together for game tournaments right now. So why would you stop them from being able to celebrate your game in an online way? I don't know. To me, this is just a dumb thing that Nintendo does because I think they're incredibly behind in the times.
Yeah.
So,
it's reminded me of this server that someone made for Vanilla WoW.
Oh yeah.
Years ago, and Blizzard stopped them to a point that they made their own. So maybe Nintendo's trying to come up with something.
See, the homemade WoW server, that was basically you're copying the game without paying for it at that point. So basically, they could say you're just pirating the game, and they're gonna shut you down.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Well, because
Slippy, all these people own the game. They have the little disc. You know?
They bought it. So
they bought the game. Let them do whatever the hell they want with it. You know, it's like, I don't know. It's stupid.
Yeah. Come on, Nintendo, get with the times already.
That's what I'm saying. Come on, guys.
It's
20
about
No,
time.
they want them
guys.
to play the new Smash, not the
And
old
Smash
Smash.
Ultimate has a huge following. We're going to get
Yeah.
to that here when we talk about the Game Awards.
Yeah.
Smash Ultimate has a huge
True.
following too. Melee just has a bigger following. People still
Yeah.
say Melee is better than every other Smash game. So it's
Yeah.
I think
But it's also like a nostalgia thing too. I think a majority of it is just like we put in so much time to Melee that it's just like I still want to showcase some of that skill set with other people.
Yeah.
You know, I think
I know.
I think the latest Smash is just an inclusion for a lot of other people who were just not part of that generation as well. So I feel like it's a little bit simpler to pick up, not like Melee. But
I don't know. I've never been a fan of Smash myself. Like I remember when it first came out on the 64 and I played it and I was like, this isn't for me. But we played Brawl. I remember that. Me and you did. Like
Yeah.
I bought that when it came out on the Wii.
we tried
I
out
played
Snakes.
Melee. Yeah,
Snake.
man, I had to unlock Solid Snake and then I turned the game off and never played it again. And it was but Ultimate, I mean, yeah, it has a huge following. Tons of people play it. I don't know if it's easier or harder because I don't really understand the changes that people make throughout them because I don't follow them.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, these games they're incredibly popular.
Right.
And,
All right.
and if Nintendo just wants to force people to play Ultimate, then okay, but you can't stop Melee from happening unless you purposely go out of your way to destroy discs.
Right.
You know?
That is crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on with the game news. First up on the game news is Halo Infinite is back on the news, and only because it's another delay. Another delay. Yeah, to December.
It's fall.
Fall of 2021.
Yeah. So if you remember after it got shown off earlier this year during Microsoft's big Xbox Series X presentation thing, and it looked like crap.
But did
delayed.
it look like crap, though? I mean,
it did look like crap. Did you see it?
It wasn't that bad. I mean, I do understand like the whole facial thing were far better in the previous Halos, but
it looked like an Xbox One game, and that's fine if it's an Xbox One game. But this is supposed to be a Series X game. This is the console that Gears 5 can do 4K.
You're
120.
supposed to showcase all the capabilities of the console.
They showed off what looked like a last gen Xbox One game, and so no, it needed to go back into it needed to go back into the oven. It needs to bake longer. It was delayed until I think it was January or February, and then recently in the past week this came out. It's now pushed to fall. I think this is. As you all should know this already, I'm not a Halo fan. Never have been.
I used to be a big
Halo
Halo fan.
Yeah.
I stopped after 4. I was disappointed. I haven't played 5.
I'm not going to play Infinite when it comes out because I don't really care. But this delay is only a good thing.
Yeah.
Like, this is only good. Like, they need this.
Yeah, I think Andre had a comic strip about the whole Cyberpunk and Nintendo talking about, like, you know, what was it? Miyamoto, I think it was. There was just like his quote about a delayed game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's always
like delayed games are always going to be better, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they don't want to rush Halo. This is their flagship game for the Xbox. It's like this thing has to be pristine.
Right. Does this upset anyone that they're delaying the game, or is it like, no, watching the trailer for it makes me want to just give it a pass indefinitely until they get something good?
Yeah.
Not
game
like
delays happen sometimes. Yeah, so like I mean we were joking around I think a week or two ago about like whenever GTA 6 gets announced, expect another year delay on top of that.
Or not only that, but like in the chats, the Nitzel says there is only Cyberpunk 2077, another game that
should have been delayed.
That should have been delayed. Maybe not announced so many times that there was going to be a delay, but give it enough time to squash out these bugs.
Just putting this out there, Joe. Have you seen all of the stuff about how broken that game is right now?
You know,
like
I try to stay away from that because I have yet to play the game. So
just putting this out there, I called it.
Yeah,
okay? Project Red, they make buggy games.
Yeah,
and I know the world thinks they're like the greatest developer of all time, Everybody says they're the greatest game studio there is. They're not.
Mm.
They make buggy as hell games. 5 years later, The Witcher 3 is still a buggy piece of crap. Like Cyberpunk, I knew it was going to be buggy as hell. It comes out, there's game crashes, there's texture pop-ins. A lot of these, even like on PC Master Race, like articles, they say save often because you never know when the game's going to.
Well, here's okay.
Mhm.
All right. On the defense for that one, Nitzel's going off about it right now, but on the defense for that, when you, as a fan, know that if you give them time and if you give them the respect to be able to complete their own game without threatening some of their staff members' lives, maybe you will get what you envisioned in your mind. You just have to be patient.
Yeah.
But when you do what you do and then you give it crap for it not being the way it is, and I apologize, I was surprised that this thing would even run on Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
Did you see the Digital Foundry PS4 video?
Oh yeah. I watched that and I was just like,
that is rough.
I'm kind of surprised that it was even slated for those consoles, because when you look at the entire trailer for it, I'm just thinking, how the hell is this supposed to run that? Even at like a reduced frame rate, there's just too much going on.
Yeah, and I'm a console guy, so like me personally, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for this game to get patched and patched and patched until it's playable for console. But yeah, they did their next gen video this morning, if you want to watch that also, where they do it on the Series S, X, and the PS5.
Right.
And they show like where it's strong and where it needs improvement and all that stuff. But yeah, they're still working on the Xbox One video, and I'm very intrigued to see that because the Xbox One is less powerful than the PS4, and it's like I wonder what that's going to look like.
I wasn't surprised about the bugs though. I mean, I wasn't surprised about the bugs on the next gen consoles, because sometimes bugs are some of the funniest things that just turn into game memes that just propel your game even further. That's just like, the Destiny loot cave propelled Destiny. You know what I mean? Like, that's funny. Now we have a way to get loot and not have to play this horrid campaign, just to get all this stuff.
Story.
But at the same time, it's like, if you want quality games, let them make them and stop threatening their lives. I can't believe that that's something that we have to say now for game developers. Is like, you're going to threaten them because they don't want to release crap to you, but then you complain that they release crap to you after they just didn't want to risk their lives anymore. It's like, dude, this stuff is real. Swatting is real. All that stuff affects them. I mean, look what happened with Ubisoft and Montreal. And that wasn't even targeted to them. They were just sharing a building.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I get it. And no, I totally get it. It's just, when you have all this hype for a game like Cyberpunk, everybody's been saying for years, this is going to be like the greatest game of all time. And it's like, it's buggy and it's kind of a mess right now.
Yeah.
Why did you release it?
Yeah. Whenever,
if you knew it wasn't going to be ready during the last delay, when they said, it went gold, but it's not ready yet, that was the 1 month or like a 3.5 week delay or something like that. It should have been another month on top of that.
Yeah.
They should have said, sorry, it's going to be 3 more months.
And remember when
at that point, people would have freaked out and then they would have gone back to normal.
Right. Remember when they held off and there was like some sort of speculation about how they held off because of the older consoles? There was a couple of articles that stated, they probably held off more than likely for the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 ports. And I'm like, you see why they were holding off?
They, like looking at the videos and all the bugs and everything that are like just the awful performance of the PS4, and I'm assuming the Xbox One is going to just be laughable.
Right.
But just looking at all those, they shouldn't have even released it.
Yeah, Nitzel says
it should have. Yeah,
Nitzel says the bugs don't bother me. That will be fixed-ish. But there's such a lack of depth of world interaction that they said would be there, and I think they had to cut cut much of
I
that.
guess too much of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like,
No, I get it.
again, people's minds, they did state that there was going to be interactions, but there was no clear example of that. It was just a whole bunch of NPCs. That's all I ever saw as far as interaction. But if there's not even that, there's still time for the game to receive several patches.
Oh, I mean, it came out 2 days ago. You
Yeah.
know, like like from what I've read about all this, because like I didn't play Witcher 3 when it first came out. Apparently, that was a disaster when it launched, and then after a few months of patching, it turned into the game everybody loves.
Yeah.
And that's good. Cyberpunk will get the same treatment.
Yeah.
It will. It's just right now, it's like this is one of those fool me once, fool me twice kind of things, where it's like everybody who's complaining about Cyberpunk being buggy should have seen this coming.
Yeah. Shame on you though. I don't blame CD Projekt Red. I don't blame them at all. They try to warn us. They made executive choices to see where they could fit the game into a proper release.
Yeah.
Our own Cranky Pants says shouldn't have been a full release. It should have been an early access. Maybe for this kind of game, I haven't seen too many single player games become like an early access kind of thing. But yeah, if there was something equivalent to it, that would have made sense. But it's just like, I don't blame CD Projekt Red. I blame the community that they are trying to service, and that's everyone who plays their games. Yeah. So it's kind of sad, but it is what it is. I digress. There's just not enough that I can say about that is just completely disrespectful to developers that are trying to give you something that you yourself want, but then they're telling you it's not up to the quality that you expect.
I don't blame the developers at all for this. I blame, so there's CD Projekt Red, and then there's CD Projekt, which is the publisher parent company, like the ones who own everything. I blame them.
And you know what?
Like, when things like this happen, it's always the publisher's fault.
Right. Because they're
never
pushing
the developers.
for it.
Yeah. They're just the devs on the CD Projekt
I'm looking
Red
at you,
side,
Activision.
They're just the code monkeys who are, coding a game and, being rushed and crunched and all that stuff. CD Projekt are the ones who could have had this game delayed again. And they didn't.
You know why I probably have a soft spot for them?
Activision, EA, Ubisoft, they're all guilty of this. Take-Two Interactive with Rockstar, same thing. Yeah.
You know why we probably have a soft spot for the developers? It's because we see ourselves in our line of work, in our professional lives.
Because we're IT people who go through the same thing every day.
Yeah. Hey, did you get that done yet? It's like, I haven't even received your request or email yet. What do you want from me? That's how that probably feels every single time. It's just like, hey, I overpromised and underdelivered. Can you cover me for it? Thank you, Code
I want
Monkey.
this done last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
No, I get it.
All right. That's enough ranting on that one. I'm probably going to have to scrub through that whole entire one and be like, yeah, I know, right?
I was about to say, Umbros did pre-order Cyberpunk, but he's going to wait till a lot of the bugs are fixed before he actually starts playing it.
That's got to be such a tease to be able to have that sitting there and just like, you don't just want to go through like the first iteration before you just patch it, or you don't want to
some people will take their time just making their character and the whole
tell Ben to share his credentials and I'll play the buggy mess that it is, and then we'll just go from there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let me check it out for research.
Yeah, I'll make a couple videos on it or whatever.
Yeah.
Zero videos later.
That wasn't one of them.
Zero videos later, be like, oh, my computer crashed.
It was too buggy.
Everything was corrupted.
All that work out the window. Oops. Darn it, computer.
Yeah.
Why yada.
By the way, it was a buggy mess. You were right. Anyways, here you
go. Anyway.
Onward.
All right, let's go on to the next one. This one is for Xbox. Players drive record engagement as Xbox expands cloud gaming to more devices in 2021.
So
we were just talking about how amazing this thing is.
This is just a follow-up on something that we've already talked about like twice. Microsoft actually said it. It wasn't just like Phil Spencer speculating anymore. They said this spring you're going to get Xbox cloud gaming through Xbox Game Pass, whatever they call that, xCloud.
XX.
That's going to be
XX.
xCloud. Yeah, they have this whole stupid name for it, but xCloud, the thing that Android users have had for a few months now, where you can cloud stream your Game Pass Ultimate games, that will be on iOS devices via a browser this spring. They actually say that in this article, so it is definitely happening. It's not just it's something we're looking at or it's something we want to do. They actually say it on Xbox.com. It's happening this spring. So for all you iOS people out there, if you do have Game Pass Ultimate, you'll be able to join us, Android people, and play them wherever you want. It's awesome.
Yeah. This had some sort of tie-in with the fact that iOS was not able to control the content through cloud stuff, that they were able to work around it, right? This also had some sort of connection with Fortnite, where they weren't able to control the content, so they didn't want to do that as well.
Fortnite was all about money. The Xbox Game Pass cloud streaming thingy, the problem with that is the App Store. Apple has a rule on the App Store that basically says you can't have an app that launches another app.
Right.
So it's like if Microsoft wanted to play by Apple's rules on this, they would every 100+ game on Game Pass would have to be its own app on the App Store.
Right.
So like Gears of War Ultimate Edition is the app, and then you have to install whatever the launcher for that, and then you have to install the launcher for Gears 2 and 3 and 4, and it's like your phone would be just a cluttered mess at that point. But that's how Apple has that set up.
It seems like, though, like in the exact same situation for Fortnite, the main reason why Fortnite was given the boot was because they wanted to have their own pay system instead of having to pay Apple, which is in itself a different application in the app. So from a technical perspective, that would make more sense of saying, well, in our clauses, in our terms of use and all that other crap, we can't allow you to have a different pay system. But yet they'll allow PayPal to be part of it so long as it's going through their channels.
Yeah, no, the whole Fortnite thing was that was strictly money. That was Apple has a rule that says if you're going to make money off something through your app that's on the App Store, then we take a piece.
Right.
That's it. And Fortnite tried to get around that, and therefore this giant mess they're in.
But now with this, it's like now cloud streaming has a chance so long as it's encapsulated within the browser.
They say they're doing it through a web browser. Nobody knows how it's going to work or what browsers it's going to work with. Maybe they're going to say you have to have Edge. Who knows?
I suspect iOS updates to stop this secretly.
I don't know. I mean, would I be surprised? No, but I don't necessarily think Apple's going to go out of their way to stop this because it doesn't violate any of their rules. So it's like if Microsoft can figure out how to do this, make it work through a website, have a third part, have a Bluetooth controller sync up, and be able to control an app that was launched through a web browser, Apple should be fine with it.
I don't know.
And Microsoft should already know by now. I mean, these companies all talk to each other, right? It's not like they're, warring factions on, like divided by a fence or something like that. Microsoft has probably already spoken to Apple 1,000 times about this and said, what if we do it through a web browser? And Apple probably said, sure. Like that doesn't break our rules. It would be embarrassing on both sides if this thing launched and then it broke on day one.
I have an example of where those companies are like that. When Google wanted to allow Amazon Fire TV to be able to play their content, and then Fire TV didn't want to sell their Google Chromecast. Don't tell me that there's no fence with companies that all of a sudden, like, because it's cutting into our market share for streaming sticks, we're no longer going to provide that stuff. That's some pretty petty stuff. And so I'm not beyond the thought that might happen.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Personally, I don't see this I see this going through fine. I don't think Apple's going to stop this because it would make them look bad as well if they did.
Yeah.
Like Microsoft can say, okay, Apple's service on the App Store is garbage, so we're going to have to do it a different way. Sorry. And it's really Apple's fault. It's not Microsoft's at all. They tried it. There was a playable version of this back in the beta for the Game Pass streaming. It worked. It was on iPhones and everything. It worked fine. And then when it launched, Apple said, nope, can't do it.
Wait,
so it's not a technical limitation at all. It's literally Apple pulled the plug on
it. That couldn't have been done or mentioned before the beta?
Yeah, exactly. And then that's why Microsoft was like, we're working on it, guys. Sorry. Sorry about that. And then it turned out that Microsoft came back and said, yep, Apple is stupid. Sorry. So we're going to find another way.
They really don't have like a cloud competitor at this point, right? They don't have anything.
Apple?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Their competition on that would probably be like Apple Arcade, which is a totally different function.
It's crap. It's just
like,
basically Game Pass for apps.
Yeah, it's downloaded and installed apps.
Yeah.
Or or mobile games and things like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like
that would be the only competition on this, but that's not even the same like type of thing.
Yeah. That's crazy though. I don't know. I predict that there will be functioning problems and bugs after every single update, as I've always experienced with iPhones. Yeah. There's always just some, don't update if you want to continue playing this because the browser hasn't changed. There was some sort of technical problem and now it doesn't work.
Yeah, like I said, will it be buggy or anything like that? Maybe it'll crash the browser every now and then or something. Maybe, right. Who knows? But yeah, if they can figure out how to do this, I can see it going through, and Apple's going to be fine with it.
Yeah, Nawdog says, dude, PS5 is using Emma's Azure tech. Yes, because AWS probably didn't freaking... They probably didn't sell to the point that they were just like, oh, okay, well, we can use AWS. Yeah. Microsoft just has a corner on there.
Sony and Microsoft went in together on this. Like, I think it was 2 years ago or something. There was this big announcement that Sony was going to be using Microsoft technology for their online stuff.
Right.
And it's like, that's good. They should.
Yeah.
Isn't technically the Blu-ray a Sony product as well?
Blu-ray, yeah.
Yes.
Sony owns Blu-ray. They
so technically, Microsoft is using Sony products as well.
They license it, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think the drives and the codec themselves to be able to play the video, Blu-ray video, is licensed by Sony.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So let's go on to the next one. This one's super important, and we're gonna get a little bit. We're gonna get a little serious on this one because lawmakers are trying to force us into what they believe is correct. But I saw you posting on this on Twitter, I think, Clay. This one was super important. So if you want to...
I'll sum it up. There's the link in the chat if you guys really want to get in the depth on all this stuff. This is not a real thing yet. But it could be a thing, depending on how this goes with the lawmakers and the courts and the senates and all that stuff. But basically, there's a bill that's going to be proposed. It's not there yet. That would take copyright violation and make it a felony charge instead of a misdemeanor, which is what it currently is. So what does this mean? An example of what this could mean. Not saying it will at all times, but what it could, like, this is a possibility. You're streaming a game. Joel's playing Gears of War. He's streaming a game and he has Metallica playing in the background. Felony charge, you could go to prison.
What?
Because you have streamed copyrighted material on a service that is paying you. A felony charge is a big deal. Like, felons are the ones, like this is a huge thing. So it's like, or if you're a YouTube streamer and somebody copyright claims you, you could be arrested.
That's crazy.
This is no longer just a fine. This is a huge thing. So this is one of those, like, this needs to not happen.
But
Joel's camera is shaking at this point.
Yeah, I'm just like, trigger. No, it's the dryer running.
yeah. Like, this is a big deal. Like, if this were to happen, which I sincerely hope it is not, that would be like every streamer out there, every YouTuber, me and Joel, all this stuff. Like, we have to get permission on literally everything we include in any
Mhm.
video or any stream. Otherwise, it's a crime.
This
You
is
could be arrested. You could go to jail.
this is crazy because
Yeah.
look, yeah, right here it says that Umbra says that on top of all the fake copyright claims already going around.
Mhm.
It's like
Yeah.
anyone can do a copyright claim at this point and just say, yeah, that's copywritten. Not mine, but it's copywritten. 30
Yeah.
snitch or snitchblade or whatever. And even then, it's like you could be streaming a game and have no control over the media that's about to come on. You don't even know. And then it's just like, oh, well, you're going, it's a felony. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
felony convictions and even charges ruin people's lives that you can't even get a job anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like
I said, this is a big deal. Like, I mean, this needs to not happen. Yeah.
I don't understand.
But yeah, if anybody wants to get more on this, there's the link. It's in the chat. Check it out.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
I feel like this whole thing is targeting clearly a specific realm of users out there and content creators.
Yeah.
Because it's just, what else is out there? What else is besides YouTube videos and streamers would get affected from this? It's not like we're hosting a whole bunch of copywritten stuff. Nobody's coming to not yet. Nobody's coming to knock down our door. The cops ain't coming to knock on our door because I'm having a party playing music that I didn't freaking pay for because it's on a streaming service. And they'll be like, hey, you don't have a license for that. And all your friends are listening into it. Cover your ears.
Yes. Everybody at this party needs to show me their Spotify logon right now.
But I have a trial. I have a trial logon. Oh, you're going to have a trial, all right. Oh, I'm sorry.
Umbra says there was a lot of streamers that was told by Twitch to stream the Game Awards, and the Game Awards obviously played a lot of trailers that had a lot of copywritten music in it.
Yeah.
And now they're getting attacked for it.
Yeah, but yeah, this like I said, this is there's a lot of repercussions of what this thing could mean. We can only hope that this thing gets shot down fast because this is way too harsh.
At least YouTube does the right thing and just lets you know, like, hey, we detected some copyright music, so we just muted it. But if you want to go ahead and edit that out or whatever you want to do,
that'd be super.
Just to protect you, by the way, and us. All right, well, let's get on with the main moneymaker of this episode, which is the Game Awards. We were just talking about it. So, Clay, I know that we want to take a look at all the contenders and everyone who won and didn't win. So,
honestly, I'm going to save us all a bunch of time here because I know we're almost out of time here. We have about maybe 15, 20 since we started late today anyway. But I will say the actual awards themselves, nobody watches the Game Awards for the awards.
No.
It's usually all of the new trailers and announcements that come out. And Joe, did you watch?
I did not.
Did you watch the Game Awards?
I was busy. I was busy building the studio.
I will say this. There was a lot of good stuff during the Game Awards.
Oh, yeah?
There was this thing went strong on the announcements and trailers.
Oh, yeah.
This was like, I mean, as usual, I'm at home, I have a drink or whatever, and I'm watching the Game Awards, and I'm like, all right, Keyleaf, let's just do this. And then it starts out, and you get the announcement for a new Perfect Dark game, and it's like, ooh,
yeah, I did see that trailer, and I was quite surprised. I was like, okay, they're already showing a little bit of even though it's all CG, and I totally understand that, they are showing open worldness of just this giant freaking map, but at the same time, it's like, how much of it is going to be in the game?
I will say this, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this, but CG trailers are, in my opinion, just a waste of time. Like, if you're going to show me a game trailer, I want to see what the game is going to play like also. Like,
Yeah.
I want to see gameplay. But luckily, Perfect Dark, it's a first-person shooter. Okay, it's been around since the N64. It was on the Xbox 360. There's the Rare Replay collection if you ever want to play it again. Just pick it up and play it. It's cool. It's basically, I think Rare Replay is an Xbox exclusive, so you would have to have an Xbox or a 360 or a One or a Series for that.
It'd be the 360, yes.
Yeah,
For
but it's
the
yeah, for Rare Replay. And then there's Perfect Dark Zero that came out also. But luckily, Perfect Dark's been around for a long time. We already know what to expect, but it was cool seeing a new announcement.
Yeah.
Like, that was like, hey, awesome, Perfect Dark, cool.
So is Rare actually hitting that up? That's their IP though, right?
It's their IP. I don't know if they're making it. It could be another, like, they're working with a third party or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, just to jump through some of these announcements that they had on here. So if you let's see, Sephiroth was announced for Super Smash Brothers.
Yep.
Sephiroth.
The Smash community probably like fainted a few times during the trailer because
they just woke up and they're like, "What happened?" Of
the just absurd fandom that people have over Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like there. Like, I know so many Final Fantasy nerds and Smash nerds who just like lost it, and they were like, "Oh my god, it's Sephiroth!" And it's like, well, Cloud is already in the game.
Yeah.
You didn't see that coming?
Was it really surprising to you?
Like, you didn't see that one happening ahead of time? No? Okay.
No.
All right. But,
it went a little dark in the trailer with Mario, and then they just showed it off, and I was just like, "Oh, okay, thank God." I thought Mario actually got
Like,
him, like impaling Mario.
Yeah, it's like, damn, they allowed this? It's like, it's a little dark.
When I saw that, I was like, let me guess, they like hooked his suspenders or something like that.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh, thank goodness.
Classic.
How dare you?
I mean, Nintendo would never allow that, but also it would be a chance for them to put something a little playful and cute in there, like, you know, Mario. Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
Dude, I'm pretty sure a lot of people gasped at that silhouette, and it was just like, hold up, Nintendo, like, you're ruining my childhood right now.
What's happening right now? Who's this tall woman who killed Mario?
No.
Oh my god. All right. What else we got here? Mass Effect.
So, Mass Effect.
Tali? No,
actually,
this ain't Tali.
That would be Liara.
Yeah.
Liara to Sony. There is not a lot
that is
known about this right now. Dude, I am a huge Mass Effect fan.
Yeah.
I went through 1, 2, and 3 multiple times. I did play Andromeda once. I went through it once, and it was not good. I agree with everybody on that.
Yeah.
But this is going to be, I mean, from what this looks like, this is a sequel to Mass Effect 3, which, if you remember at the end of Mass Effect 3, there's not really a lot else there to do with that storyline. There's a ton of speculation online right now about this. Usually I try to ignore stuff like that because until I get an official word on something, it's just internet people talking back and forth. But it's, I'm pumped, man. So there's already the Mass Effect, like the remasters that were announced, where they're going to re-release 1, 2, and 3 again, like, you know, get them all cleaned up and everything. I'm pumped. I might go through them again. I love the series. I think it's fantastic.
But see, I feel like with the whole like series that people had, like now with the technology that we have, the remasters should really be just remakes, in my opinion. You still have the remasters.
Me and other Mass Effect, like Cinderkin and another buddy of mine, it's like, we all say this and we all completely agree with this. Mass Effect 1 needs a remake.
Yeah.
2 and 3 are solid games. If you just clean those up, I think they would work. 1 was kind of rough. All 3 games are pretty buggy anyway. Like, even years later with all the patches and everything, they still have a lot of weird bugs to them.
Yeah.
If they could clean that up, but 1 feels like a different game than 2 and 3.
It's
way
controls.
more like RPG heavy.
Yeah.
The controls, it's way more RPG-ish. Like, you have to micromanage like everything in that game.
Right.
Like gear, weapons, ammo types, armor types.
It's like they tossed everything at the wall and everything stuck. And they were like, oh, well, this is the game now.
And then 2 came out, and it was more of just like a shooter that had stats in it.
Right.
Like different RPG elements to it. And so 2 really took off in like a new direction, and it was great. I think 1 needs just a wipe and redo. Like if they were to remake 1 to make it more like 2 and 3, I think it would be like outstanding. Like that would be a great fix for that game. Chamo's asking what was Andromeda about. It doesn't matter. It's like seven. Basically, before the end of Mass Effect 3, these like a couple thousand people or whatever got in these big ships and they shot through space to the Andromeda galaxy instead of the Milky Way where everything in Mass Effect takes place. And so you're and it's like 700 years later of cryo sleep. They wake up and it's like, hey, here's this new galaxy and let's go Mass Effect things, like then your adventure
basically a clean slate for
things.
Mass Effect, right?
Yeah, it was like, we want to make another Mass Effect game, but we kind of killed the series at the end of 3, so what do we do? And they go, oh, we'll just put them in another galaxy with all new problems.
So I don't want to spoil it for anyone, even though it's been out for a decade and a half. But does this mean that the ending of Mass Effect 3, and that also depends on which ending, because
there was 3 of them.
There was 3 of them, and one of them had to do with like turning everything into machines. So
that was like the hybrid ending. Mm-hmm. So if you, like I said, there's people speculating like crazy.
Spoiler alert.
Like one of the endings is called Destroy, where you destroy everything that's like a machine,
right,
in the galaxy.
Yeah.
Including the mass relays, which are like how people were able to shoot across space. It's like their warp drives, it's like that's like how they were get to one planet to another within like a second. The mass relays in this trailer, there's a broken mass relay, so people are saying maybe this is after the Destroy ending, because technically people, like living organic beings, would still be alive at this point.
Yeah,
so maybe this is like Liara, who's still alive.
Yeah, you could totally tell, like, on a different ending where everybody was a machine, their eyes and everything were completely different.
Yeah, they were like green. They were like, they were like regular, but they had like green veins and stuff like that all through them. Yeah.
And it's just like, so where does this take place and what ending is this? Because if it is the Destroy thing,
that's the thing, we don't know. Like, so all of this, and and the people with tech inside them, it's like, that's right. Like if you, it blew up anything that was like a machine or something. So maybe
kind of like a giant EMP bomb.
Because it's, I don't know. I don't want to go too far into that, but Mass Effect is awesome. Super pumped. I'm just going to skim through some of this. Microsoft Flight Simulator coming to Xbox. We've already known about this for months. Microsoft
Left 4 Dead 3. I see it here.
Back 4 Blood. Okay, Back 4 Blood was announced years ago. And it was like, hey, Turtle Rock's coming back, and they are making another Left 4 Dead game, and it's called Back 4 Blood. And it's years with nothing. Like, I think they released like concept art like 2 years ago.
So it's basically anything that was under Valve's like development team anyway. Their regular cycle of giving you little tidbits and then nothing.
Well, so Turtle Rock, if the 5-second version of that is, they made Left 4 Dead and they were acquired by Valve, and then they broke away from Valve, and then they said, Left 4 Dead was really awesome. We should just do another one of those, and we'll just call it something else.
Right.
And that's where Back 4 Blood came out, and they showed off gameplay. They showed off like a cinematic trailer, and then they showed some gameplay footage, and it looks exactly like Left 4 Dead with different monsters. And it's like, that's all I need,
dude. If it's
that's
not,
all I want to see.
If it's not broken,
Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 are great games.
Yeah.
Like, I am so pumped for this. Like, I was like, yes, let's do this.
Dude, even to this day, like even with like Joe Numbers and Mel, we'll run through some Left 4 Dead, especially like the new map, and it's still fun. It's not like, oh, well, I've already overplayed
difficult
this.
as hell, but still.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is quite a game. But Back 4 Blood is, I guess, the successor to the whole thing.
We'll just say it's a spiritual successor made by the same company, because Valve will probably never release a Left 4 Dead 3.
Yeah.
So this is our next Left 4 Dead game.
Question.
So
will they ever release another game that's not a Dota expansion or something like that? Who knows?
So for the next game, I'm gonna toss this one in here because I was just confused as all hell for the trailer, because I saw Vin Diesel
Yeah.
But
Yeah, go on.
but I was just so confused because I was like,
So
Ark doesn't have at all a
I've
single player.
Mm-mm.
I've never played an Ark game or Ark 1 survival, whatever it's called. I've never played it. I don't really care. When I saw Vin Diesel, it instantly hit me in the head and said, why can't I just get another Riddick game? Like, Escape from Butcher Bay and Escape from Dark Athena were great games. Why can't they make another Riddick game? That's what I want to see. And then it's
Isn't
like,
that
oh,
Universal's IP?
I believe so.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like Ark and this trailer. It's really dumb, and it's like and halfway through it, a T-Rex shows up, and they're fighting off all these little tribal people and stuff, and then like the T-Rex is there, and I'm like, are they going to do another Turok game but with Vin Diesel? And I'm like, what am I looking at here? And then they said Ark 2, and I went, oh, I don't fucking care about any of this.
Okay. I will say this. I realized it was Ark because the characters in Ark always have like a diamond piece on their arm. When I saw that, I was like, is this another Ark game?
The girl had that.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was. But yeah,
oh my god.
I was like, the instant I saw Vin Diesel, I go, why can't I just get another Riddick game? That would be so fun. And then I saw the T-Rex, and I'm like, is this a Turok game? What am I looking at? And then it said Ark 2, and I said, yeah, pass. Hard pass. Don't care about any of this. Next trailer.
All right.
Come on, Keeley. Roll them. Let's go.
I'm gonna keep this moment in our history, in our collection on the server, this video footage, because Clay says Ark ain't for me. But if something happens to change and all of a sudden he picks it up and he's like, dude, I was totally wrong. I have the clip. Okay?
Yep.
We'll go from there.
Okay.
Because Clay's not wrong a lot of the times. He's just an a-hole.
God, I love. Ooh. Hey, can you repeat that? I didn't hear you.
No, I didn't record that. Sorry.
My my little earpiece was kind of
I'm sorry. I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
Can I get somebody to clip that on the Twitch? Is that all right? Cool.
I mean, okay. You're not usually wrong. It's just not your type of game. I will admit that a lot of the stuff is just not your type of game, and some people will say out there's like, well, that's one of my favorite games, and it'll be like, you're wrong. And I'm like, but it's what I like. It's like, well, what you like
find that
is wrong.
Did you ever find that picture you made of me that one time, and it was like, have an opinion, let me stop you right there?
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
Let me stop you right there.
I love that. Yeah, like, have an opinion about something? Let me stop you right there.
That's why I try not to argue with Clay. It's just too much for me.
Yeah. Sorry, bud. I mean, we love you and everything, but look, Ark 2, I'm a little excited just to see where they take it, because the original Ark is kind of fun if you have people to play with and all that other stuff, and you like building. It's kind of like a Rust successor to me, because Rust was more pretty cookie cutter kind of building survival game. But
Rust still gets updates.
Rust still gets updates, but Ark is just like, they just have so much, right? And you can just build, and keep going through generations and technology and all that.
Tame dinos and ride them.
Right. That to me is just like fun. It's like Pokemon, but with actual things that could hurt you. You know what I mean? It's like not Pikachu, where it's just like, all right, well, you're cute.
There is a Pokemon mod for it. So
well, then there you go. Yeah. But at least with Ark 2, it seems to have like a very specific direction where it might not have that whole openness of being able to put mods on it or anything. We'll have to wait and see, because Ark's whole evolution was, this is the game we want you to play, and then at the very end is like, make whatever you want so that way you keep playing Ark. You know what I mean? It's just like, that's what it feels like now. But then, Clay, I don't know if you want to speak on the Dragon Age stuff.
You know what? Honestly, I've never played a single Dragon Age game.
What?
Yeah, I've never played any of them. I've heard good things about 3, and I've heard so-so things about 1 and 2. Apparently, Dragon Age
Inquisition.
Inquisition, the third one, was supposed to be just this awesome game, and I know a lot of people who loved it, and it's cool. It's BioWare again. They're good storytellers. We can only hope this is going to be as good as Inquisition. But yeah, I honestly don't have really any inside information on this one. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
But like I said, I know a lot of Dragon Age fans out there. I know a ton of people who were super pumped to finally see that like announced with their little cinematic trailer that they did. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout Season 3 was announced, and then the new Among Us map for all you Among Us fans, which I'm a fan. I love playing with the kids. It's pretty fun. I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to talk about on here.
There's the only ones I wanted to mention here is It Takes Two, which is a little farther down on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
It Takes Two is by the same team that did A Way Out, which came out like a year or two ago. It's this constant 2-player co-op game.
Mm-hmm.
A Way Out was really good. It was a lot of fun. But you have to have 2 players. Like it has to be a 2-player co-op experience. This is going to be another game by the same company, the same type of thing where you're constantly with the 2 characters on the screen at the same time. If this is even as half as good as A Way Out was, then this will be awesome.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like it definitely has support for next gen, because some of these screenshots that are playing on the screen, they're definitely way more advanced for anything like Xbox One or anything else. I'm sure it'll work, but it's just really advanced lighting.
Yeah, but yeah, the last ones I just wanted to mention out there, Evil West looks like it would be cool. It was only a cinematic trailer, and that to me does nothing. It doesn't tell me anything about the game itself. But it was basically this dude killing vampires and crap in the Old West, and it was like, all right, that's cool. The studio that made it, or that's making it, I'll say, Flying Wild Hog, they do like the newer Shadow Warrior games, and they did like Hard Reset a few years ago, which is a pretty decent first-person shooter. But yeah, it's like I said, but this trailer, it does nothing. It's just, hey, here's this dude killing things.
Yeah, he looks super cool doing it.
Yeah, and it's like, all right. But there's also the Callisto Protocol, which is, if you remember the Dead Space series from Visceral.
Yeah.
This is, so Visceral, the company that made Dead Space, they got shut down by EA. One of the lead guys on that team, this is his new game with a new studio, and it looks like it's going to be another creepy game set in space.
Is that chonky looking dude that, I don't know if you know, I don't know if that's the
from
same
Dead Space?
guy. Yeah.
Dead Space, the
he's
main
like a
protagonist
military
in that one,
vet, I think. I was watching a doc on the whole like Dead Space stuff.
Dead Space, or the main protagonist in Dead Space, his name is Isaac Clarke. If you want to Google him, he's this engineer guy on a space station, and he wears this like metal exoskeleton kind of suit.
All Dead Space was is basically he's trying to get his wife. That's all I remember.
But yeah, it's so that's just a game to look out for if you are into horror games and stuff, or even if you like Dead Space. I'll say 1 and 2 because 3 was just a co-op shooter. But yeah, it's cool. Yeah. That's it. So yeah, the Game Awards. If you want to check out the VODs on that, like just hit up the Game Awards channel on YouTube and just check out all the trailers they dropped. It was.
We'll post it on the chat. I think Mel might have already done that, but I just did it again.
Yeah.
So for anyone who's in the chat, was there something else that interested you that you'd want us to talk about? Because there was a lot, apparently. Like, I didn't even watch it, but keep scrolling down this whole thing. Is like they had trailer upon trailer. They had a
That's
lot.
A Polygon guy. Don't worry about him. But there's even more games we didn't cover here. But yeah, it's the Game Awards themselves. The awards were just it's okay. Like as predicted, Last of Us 2 cleaned up everything. So it's like, all right, like totally saw that coming.
So
Open Roads and all these are just little indie story-based games.
So Ghost of Tsushima, did that win anything?
Ghost of Tsushima won the player vote. So the way the Game Awards work is, like Keighley and his his select committee, I'll say, they nominate the games, and then he has a selection people like a whole other group of people who do the voting, and these people are like people throughout the game industry. They could be journalists, they could be developers, they could be publishers, they could like anything. They do the majority of the votes, and then the people get a small percentage of votes for themselves. So for every category, when you go onto their website and you make a vote, that counts for a small percentage of the overall votes for that game. But with that, the people also voted Ghost of Tsushima as Game of the Year. So the players who voted for it voted for the correct game, Ghost of Tsushima, which is Game of the Year 2020. And then the Game Awards came in and said, it's Last of Us 2. So Keeley's committee of people said The Last of Us 2. But all the people who actually play the games and are the fans said Ghost of Tsushima, which is the right call.
Does that bother you at all? That
I expected it to happen. I did not expect Ghost of Tsushima to get the player vote. I thought Last of Us 2 was going to take that too, because Last of Us has a massive fan base, like a fan base. Ghost of Tsushima did really well. Like it impressed people, which is great. And I know Sucker Punch has a lot of fans also. But yeah, I thought Last of Us 2 was literally going to win every category it was in.
Yeah, Nah Dog.
It has a massive fan base.
Nah Dog said not one mention of Kojima at all.
Because Keeley and Kojima are like BFFs, and it was like it's every 5 seconds he has to talk about his buddy Kojima and stuff.
They are at chest bumping levels of friendship.
Yes. Yeah, it was. I mean, like I said, the Game Awards themselves were just like, whatever. I don't watch them for the awards. I watch them for all the reveals and everything.
Yeah.
They did a really good job of that this year. There was tons of good stuff on there.
There's just a lot of opinion in those kind of things. It's not like a movie awards where you just have like specific categories for stuff like romance and all this other stuff. It's not like that where games don't have like a specific like targetable base. Games can be for several different types of people. And so those categories always kind of like rub me the wrong way, and just like, well, I would have liked that if I was more of an RPG player. There's nothing wrong with the game, but in their own category, best RPG, best this and that and that. If it was more like that instead of just like very, very open-ended, like Game of the Year, well, but for how many people are we talking about?
Yeah, but and also that's the thing. It's like there are so many Game of the Years out there that like I think the last time I actually recognized one specific source as Game of the Year was back when Electronic Gaming Monthly used to do it, and that was like 20 years ago.
Yeah,
because after they shut down, it was like that was like who else? Like every website has a Game of the Year. I have a Game of the Year. It's like it's not going to matter. Which we should do a video. Game of the Year 2020
Game of the Year
from Nerd Junkies, and why it's Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, and what? I don't even have a PS4.
What is Game of the Year? What is Nerd Junkies' official Game of the Year for 2020, and why is it Ghost of Tsushima?
Nah Dog says Ghost was very repetitive.
Yes, in all the right ways. It repeated all the great stuff over and over again.
Okay. All right, so let's get out of here then. If nobody has anything else that they want us to talk about, but just make sure you join us on the Discord and give us your news articles that you'd want us to talk to for the following week. Because every Saturday, are we going to be back this Saturday? I know it's a lot of holidays, Clay. I think on the 19th and the 26th. I don't know. You don't even have kids.
What? I got 2 dogs. What the hell do I
Yeah. All right. Well, if you want to join us on the Discord, we're always live there. We're continuing to work on the studio that we have here. I finally got the TV up and running last night, so we're planning on having a lot of cast streams here as soon as the pandemic is over. Either that or I just make a lot of cutouts and start going all psychopath in here and be like, "Hi, Clay cutout. How you doing? Let's play some video games." I need
I'm
friends.
right. You're wrong. I'm right. You're wrong.
It's like a pull string is like, "Hey, Clay, what's your opinion?" "I'm right. You're wrong."
Yeah. That game sucks.
Oh my god. You know what? We should make a plushie with a pull string. That'd be hilarious.
Oh, no.
Your favorite game sucks.
Be a limited edition thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get out of
I'm
here.
down.
Thanks everyone for joining us on the chats.
Thanks,
Again,
everybody.
visit us at nerdjunkies.com. Mel's always posting up great game deals. Andre's always posting up his greatest comics. That he's such a talented person, Clay.
Very talented.
Very talented. And I wish he
agree
believed in himself so much. But for right now, because we're not paying him anything, I'm just gonna keep his ego right where it needs to be.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Thanks,
Same
everybody.
time, same channel, Saturday. What's up?
See
Saturday
ya.
noon. Check out nerdjunkies.com/social. Go to our Discord.
Laters.
Love you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Bye.